is what you had last
yes. Yeah, and we were talking about restaurants. Doesn't matter.
That's the perfect sign for us to start the actual episode we said we were going to do.
Exactly. And I'm going to take these bad boys off now, I think. All right. Porchside Podcast. I'm glad this is becoming a regular thing here, Jared. You know, we were talking last week about not everyone is good at apologies. Some apologies maybe aren't really apologies in the first place. So why are you even saying it? Don't waste your time and don't waste your breath. But yeah, we're going to talk about apologies today. How to apologize to someone. You know, when is it? I mean, I guess in theory, I guess it's always okay to apologize. Actually, no, I'm going to take that back, Jared. It's not always okay to apologize because I think in the U.S., and I'm going to go out on a limb here, Jared. I don't think this is a crazy, risky thing to say, but I would also loop our Canadian brothers and sisters in here with us as well. The fact that we say sorry too much. What I mean by this is I think there are a lot of people out there who just apologize for no reason. You know, they say, oh, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Sorry for bothering you. Sorry for this. Sorry for that. It's like, why are you sorry? Why, unless you are legitimately bothering someone. You know, if you are bombarding them with text messages and emails or calls or whatever, that's a little different. But, if you're just contacting someone, I know a lot of people in the workforce feel that way. Contacting, we've talked about it a little bit too on the podcast when, from working from home, you can't just turn around and talk to somebody. You got to, actually go out of your way a little bit to message them. And, so when should we apologize? How should we apologize? And are all apologies created equal, Jared? We'll find out today, and I'm really curious to hear what you have to say. So without further ado, my good friend, my partner in crime, my amazing co-host, my buddy Jared. What is going on, Jared?
Hello. Yeah, that was good. I agree with you. I'm interested to talk about this. I have a lot of opinions, especially since we really seem like we're in the age of the apology right now. Like, we're in peak apology right now. There are multiple apologies a week happening on behalf of people, ones that clearly no one believes, they don't even believe, ones that seem serious sometimes too, and it's been overwhelming. But first, please,
Пожалуйста, spread a little love.
Please follow us on Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. You'll get some shots of our lovely porch pod setup. I think we've really dialed it in, Chad. We've really dialed it in.
We're getting there.
We've decided that we like this background the most. Mm-hmm. We like sitting on this side of the deck the most. This is where the sun tends to hit the least.
Yep.
We for once decided to turn the table, so now we have an easier setup.
How the turntables, Jared.
And we have a little bit more space here as well. I love it. You can see our setup here and our lovely backdrop in Dexter, Michigan. I almost said black drop.
Yeah.
You can also follow us on Twitter, Untranslatable1, the number one.
Uno.
I've something's come over me. I feel like I'm tweeting more these days. Chad, I see, is on Twitter more these days. He must be taking notice.
That's right.
So
I've been liking what you've been doing.
I've seen that. It makes me feel good because you're the only one. So if you want to like it too, follow us on Untranslatable1, the number one.
Пожалуйста.
Or you could give us 5-star reviews on iTunes and Stitcher, please.
That's right. We always appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes.
That is for sure.
Hey, dude.
Yes.
Did you hear that Merriam-Webster, the dictionary, has added a new word?
No.
Yep.
Don't worry, I'm not peeping on your screen.
Yeah, I know. I get paranoid.
I'm trying to look into your eyes, Jared. Have a genuine conversation here. What
You're
word
making
has
me very uncomfortable.
That's my goal, Jared. What's the Merriam-Webster's new word?
So this word has been a hot button issue for our entire life on whether it was a real word or not. In my family, my dad occasionally.
Is it ain't?
No, my dad would, but you're close. You're not close.
Okay.
You're not close, but that's not a bad guess. Let me put it that way. In my family, me and my mom would always make fun of my dad because occasionally he would say it, and we would, he would claim that he would never say it, but we would always say it, and it is sort of a.
Is it dude?
It is a dismissive term.
Oh, okay.
And there are two ways to say it. But there's really only one way to say it. But people claim that there are a lot of people claiming that. So let's say like
Can you give me a sentence?
yes,
with a fill in the
I
blank?
want you to use it for me.
Right.
So okay. So
This is how I'm going to lose my future job, Jared.
so I borrowed your car.
Uh-huh.
You let me borrow your car, and I bring it back, and there's a giant scrape and dent on the side of it.
Okay.
And you're like, dude, what did you do to my car? And I'm like, I mean, that's kind of your fault, really, because you gave me the car with like no gas in it. And what would you say?
I would have quite a few words for you, but I'm
No,
not sure what.
think about that connection that I just made. What would you say in reference
No
to that?
gas.
No, okay, it's regardless.
Regardless?
Regardless is the word that I'm thinking of. But
Regardless wasn't a word?
no. Regardless is a word. Excuse me.
Oh.
But they added a new word to the dictionary related to regardless.
Which is? Irregardless.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Okay, irregardless. Okay.
So this is from NPR. I read this in NPR. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm bragging. Merriam-Webster raised the hackles of stodgy grammarians last week when it affirmed the lexical veracity of irregardless. The word's definition, when reading it, would seem to be without regard.
Right. Which is funny because technically regardless in itself means
Right.
without regard.
When you hear ear, it almost seems like they're adding some sort of negation to a word that's already a negative
Right.
word.
Right. But at the same time, I hear people use it all the time and it doesn't bother me.
I mean, it doesn't.
Does it irk you a little bit? Does it make you feel differently about people if you hear people?
It doesn't bother me, but I definitely take note.
So I have to add that to my list of phrases now, right? Piggybacking on that. What was the other one you hate? Piggybacking on that. what was the other one?
Circle back, touch base.
Oh yeah, that's a bad one. Yeah.
But see now
Circling back, Jared.
now it'll bother me because I won't have the moral high ground of knowing that I'm like I won't say anything.
Right.
But in my head I'm like that was wrong, and I'm like.
I'm just gonna be dropping irregardless bombs all day long now. It'll be great.
Irregardless bombs.
Irregardless bombs.
So yeah, Merriam-Webster defines irregardless as non-standard, but meaning the same as regardless. Many people find irregardless to be a nonsensical word, as the
or an
prefix.
irrational word. Or irritating.
But
word.
irrational makes sense because the
and
opposite
irritating
is
also
rational.
Right.
No,
What about-
irritating doesn't make sense.
Yeah, what's tating, bro?
Yeah,
What is tating? Is it
No,
when
it's
you're tater
rotating.
talk?
It's rotating.
Oh, that's true. What's rotating? What's rotating?
It means someone you enjoy having someone in your presence. You know, they're very enjoyable.
So are you
Because
rotating me now,
irritating
Jared?
is like I'm sick of this person being around me. They're
Right.
really bothering me.
You're getting on my
Rotating
nerves.
is like this person is great to have around.
There's no way that's a word.
No.
It should be. It should be though. Rotating.
Hey, Miriam, hit us up.
That's right.
That
I mean, we came up with some new idioms too. I mean,
That's true.
you got a drop hidden in there somewhere.
is very true. I mean,
Slipping on
Hummingbird.
gator
A
pit.
hummingbird. Oh,
This-
it flew away.
this is how. This
Sorry,
is how.
get distracted when
this
we're
is-
doing these porch podcasts.
this is how. This is how this happens. You know, this is how language evolves.
That's true.
It's just rotating is not a word, by the way.
Should be. It's going to become one now, Jared.
No, they just automatically took me to rotating. Yeah, so
yeah, it makes
rotating is
sense.
not a word.
I wonder.
But yeah.
I wonder how many times people have thought of a new word and then something like that happens where spell check comes up.
What do you
Where
mean
they
spell
think-
check comes
where
up?
they think it's a already made word.
Oh,
You know.
and they made up a word?
Right.
But no one considers it making up a word in the moment. It's considered...
That's true.
It's considered... What are you, an idiot? What does that mean? Like I feel like...
So does a word become a word when it's in the dictionary though? Or does it become a word
No.
when people use it when they talk?
I think it has to be used in especially today with all... I mean, there's always been slang. What am I talking about? But with all this like social media slang and stuff like that, I think it's really got to be I don't think it has to be in the dictionary for it to become a word. But there is definitely a like a level. There is a point where the dictionary does like validate a word. Like bootylicious has been added to the dictionary,
As
and
it
it's
should
like
be.
that's
That's
just
a
a
great
word,
word.
that Beyonce made up about
Right.
her bodacious booty.
Right.
Now they're like, all right,
And it was
people,
a hit song too.
That's true. I mean,
So that
yeah.
makes a difference. I think because it transcended pop culture.
Yes,
Like everyone knew what bootylicious was in the U.S. if you had heard that song.
exactly.
You know? What's the line? My body's bootylicious, something like that, right?
I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't
Is
think
that
you're
what-
ready
is that
for
what the
this
lyric is?
jelly.
Yeah.
My body's too bootylicious for
There you
you,
go.
babe. Yeah,
It's like a playoff is delicious. You know,
yeah, booty.
for
yeah.
our non-native English speakers who are
I thought
listening,
you were
Jared.
explaining it to me.
No, I know you know what it means. No, you got a PhD in bootyliciousness, Jared. Don't you worry.
I was about to have to apologize for how sassy I was about to become. I was like,
Hey, that's warranted sass, though.
oh my gosh.
I would say.
But yeah,
That's interesting, though. That's really
but
fascinating.
it is interesting that it does all it really takes for a word to be added to the dictionary is for just people to be saying it wrong for long enough, and they're like, fine,
It
whatever.
becomes ironic.
We all know what you're
Right,
saying.
Right. Well, and then I forget what it's called now. I was talking to a teacher friend of mine about this the other day. There's a type of word where it has two meanings, and those meanings are the opposite meaning. And
Anagram,
it's not an anagram. That's when I think you can.
spell it backwards.
If you could just Google that for me, Jared. A word with two meanings, and those meanings are the opposite. So it could literally mean the opposite thing.
Okay.
It's not an anagram.
I just wanted to make sure I was
Right.
wrong. A word that
With two opposite meanings.
that has two opposite meanings.
Let's see.
Of course, when I need it, auto antonym,
There you go. An auto antonym.
auto antonym.
Yeah.
So
So,
let's see an example. An auto antonym or antonym, also called a contronym or
contronym. That was
or
the one I
Janus
heard.
word, is a word with multiple meaning senses, of which one of the the word cleave can mean to cut apart or to bind together. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Okay.
I've never used the word cleave
I knew
like that.
I
A
guess
cleaver is
exactly.
is
So
a meat
cutting made
cleaver.
sense to me,
Right.
Because cleaver is a meat cleaver, but
Right.
I never heard of it as a bolt.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
fleeing.
To fasten or to run. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Bolt.
Bound.
Did you bolt that to the table? Or yeah, dude, I had to bolt. She was crazy.
A lot of these are like, yes, bound is similar. You could like jumping is bounding, or you like
Right.
bind something together.
Right.
Huh.
What are some
Buckle.
more? Oh yeah, yeah. To put something together or to like fall apart due to pressure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what my knees buckled.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Exactly.
Cleave, as we said, clip.
Oh yeah.
Oh, to fasten
clip.
or to like cut your hair.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good
This
one.
is blowing my mind.
Yeah. Isn't this crazy?
Consult, to give advice or to get advice.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah,
consulted
I'm a consultant, or yeah.
I'm consulting someone on. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Custom, a common practice.
Oh yeah, or something that's
Oh, yeah,
unique to your
custom
own.
made.
Custom guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
This is blowing. Dust, to cover something with a fine powder or to make clean by. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To dust something. Yeah.
That one's
The funny thing about dust, though, it's really we're implying to get rid of the dust.
Right.
You know, when we
Right.
say dust, it's faster to say dust. And hey, could you get rid of the dust?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. That's
So
true.
so contronym is what this is called, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there are a few other ones. Fast, firmly fixed and unmoving. I thought that was steadfast,
I think it's steadfast. Yeah.
but they say fast.
Interesting. Okay.
Finished. Finished, really?
To be done with something or
Or
not-
destroyed. Oh, completed or destroyed is what they say.
okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a bunch.
Yeah.
There you go. That was Thank you for that, Chad.
Crazy stuff, man. That's what we
Chad?
do here, Jared, at the Untranslatable Podcast.
Спасибо.
You are welcome. Can we get into some shout-outs,
Yes.
perhaps?
Spread a little love.
I have a kind of a crazy one, and it's a shout-out and a story. Have you heard what happened in Somalia recently, Jared?
I don't think so.
Okay, don't be peeping. Well, actually, you can peep because this is a shout-out. This isn't untranslatable. But there was a Somali plane that somehow a terrorist got into the plane with a laptop and a bomb in the laptop. And the plane was delayed for about an hour before takeoff. So when the bomb detonated, the plane wasn't yet in cruising altitude. So what this means is that what happened was, I guess the bomb went off. Excuse me, let me get some water here.
See, I always wondered that. Not always. Let's be clear. I did not always wonder that if the FBI is listening to this, but I have wondered, like, a bomb on an airplane doesn't have to be like some sort of large, gigantic explosion.
Right.
It feels like it really
Right.
just has to be enough to like put a hole in it or something. You know?
Well, so that's the crazy thing about the story. I'm glad you mentioned that. So what happened was...
Chad's really having a time here.
No, I just want to make sure that's not...
Oh, it's okay,
Yeah.
Chad. Don't worry.
So anyway, so what happened was, because the reason why I mentioned there was a delay in the flight, an hour delay, the plane wasn't in cruising altitude. So when the bomb went off, basically what happened was it blew a hole in the plane, and it blew the terrorist out. He was the only one on the plane to die from this. A couple people were injured, but they were, and because it wasn't in cruising altitude, they were able to safely land the plane.
That
So
is,
thankfully,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Up to this date, that is the best proof that God does exist.
Right, right. No kidding. Yeah, just because of the hour, if they would have left on time, they would have been in cruising altitude.
Right.
They say that the explosion would have been able to explode the fuel tanks, and that
So
would have probably just blown the
so
plane
I
to smithereens,
imagine-
I guess.
You know, because when a plane gets high enough, they have to, it pressurizes,
Right.
and it creates a sort of this fake illusion of normal
Right, air
ground
pressure.
pressure.
Yeah.
And so I imagine they were low enough where they still had enough control of the plane, and it wasn't
Right.
as much. It wasn't
Right.
using. It wasn't. Didn't need like peak air pressure at that point.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a big hole, though.
Yeah, so the blast punched a large hole in the fuselage of a passenger plane at Somalia's Mogadishu airport on Tuesday, which was caused by a bomb. They made the emergency landing. It was an Airbus 321, in case you're curious. So reports suggest that the explosive device may have been hidden inside a laptop. The blast happened shortly after takeoff. No militant group so far has said it was behind it.
Of course not.
Because
Usually they're all very quick to
Mohammed Hassan.
everyone's claiming it, and now they're like, listen.
Found the body of a man who might have fallen from the plane. Serbian captain said at the time he and others were told the explosion was caused by a bomb. It was my first bomb, and I hope it will be the last. No kidding. So the pilot happened when they were around 11,000 feet, 3,350 meters. As he said, yeah, it would have been much worse if it were higher.
Right.
Exactly. So
People can probably 11,000 feet. Like, that's a high mountain, so that's probably still
Right.
that's still in people's breathing ability
Yeah,
range.
right.
Once you get into like 35,000 feet, which is probably where it's cruising,
Now,
you can't breathe at that
I
height.
will say this though, Jared. I really hope it was. This sounds terrible to say, but I hope that the person who blew off the plane, I hope it was like a suicide bomb attempt. I read another news article where they really think that's what
I
happened.
mean, what else would it be?
Well, right, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because
But wouldn't that be hilarious though? That's like that was like the story. There was a story maybe 4 or 5 years ago about a guy in Detroit.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
That was
It
the shoe?
over Christmas. No, he had it in his underwear somewhere.
Oh, right.
And he went to the
yeah.
bathroom
Mhm.
and for some reason he couldn't get the bomb to work, and so but he got arrested and everything else.
Yeah.
And he was planning to blow up a plane actually on the way to Detroit over Christmas.
He leaving from Detroit.
No, it was coming over.
Oh, I thought it was in I thought they found him in Detroit.
That's where they arrested him. The plane landed,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, so he flew the whole flight.
and he was trying to detonate it during the flight.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Either way though, it's a funny, kind of a crazy story. I'm glad the passengers are all okay.
If that doesn't make these, whatever group is behind this, or just in general these sort of terrorists, if that doesn't make them, especially the religious terrorists,
Right.
if that doesn't make you like think
Step
about
back, yeah.
think about things for a second, it's like,
Right.
this did not
Exactly.
go as planned.
Yeah, no kidding. I got one more shout out for us today, Jared. But anyway, shout out to everyone who was on that flight, all the family of those people as well, because that must have been a nerve-wracking event.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
And shout out to everyone in Somalia who's investigating this as well. I hope they come up with some more answers. I'm really curious to see what will come of this.
Yeah.
I have one more shout out, as I said, and
Please.
this goes out to people in India who have been still, during this coronavirus pandemic, doing a mass planting of trees for this mass tree planting campaign. You can see people, Jared can probably see the picture, they're wearing masks, they're social distancing, they're really doing the right thing, and they're still trying to help out the environment. I think this is really great.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Jared, I am not one to tell people to congregate in large groups right now because of the pandemic, especially with our context in the U.S. right now. But I think this is a great cause, and I think if you do things outside, a lot of we've seen now with these protests, ongoing protests, and they are still happening. People, they are still happening,
and they're not corresponding. Protests are not corresponding with spikes.
With a spike, the
more
spikes
that
have been
like people
partying
are going,
socializing,
right, going to restaurants. And
exactly.
It seems like as you're about to say, outside and then specifically with masks, it seems like is a pretty low risk.
Yeah, I would say so. And I think that's the thing right now is we sadly have become, our reality now is risk mitigation. You know? It's not a matter of, in theory, I guess if you want to hole yourself up in your house forever, you could. But I don't think that's a sustainable way to live our lives forever.
And then speaking of apologizing, we have a president that is
doesn't know how to apologize.
Literally incompetent of leadership.
I would love for him to listen to this episode and maybe learn how to apologize.
He has no he's so short-sighted in his thinking, and he has no sort of real care about the United States. It's all just about people liking him and him getting voted in.
Right.
And it's just like it's like we have leadership that has no concern about what's actually happening.
Exactly. Yeah, most definitely. Anyways, so shout out to all the people in India right now who have been taking part in this mass tree planting campaign and keeping their distance and their masks on as well. I think this is really great. I have to say, Jared, I've really been humbled by the amount of people I've seen around the world who have been coming together during these hard times, helping people out. Helping people out, and I think it's really great, and this is a good example of it here from our brothers and sisters in India, so I think it's great.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, Jared, I think you know what time it is.
I do.
The birds seem like they're very curious to hear some untranslatables. Woo! Today, that one flew right by us.
Now that I think, I wonder if having this untranslatable owl going off outside really sets off the birds.
Maybe.
They're like, there's a predator in the area.
Right. Yeah, they're warning everybody, get out of here. Go. That's right. That's right. All right, Jared, I'm going to start us off today. And my first one for you is Tagalog, which is a language spoken in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, wow, pa-burger ka naman, which means, wow, buy me a burger.
Wow.
Wow, Jared, buy me a burger.
Is that like get out of town?
No.
Or is it like stop lying kind of thing? Like, oh, you stupid kind of.
No, not really.
Or I swear to God kind of.
No, it's
like if I'm lying, buy me a burger kind of thing, or buy me, I'll buy you a burger kind of thing.
Wow, that's great to hear about your promotion, Jared. You're gonna be making so much money. Wow, you should buy me a burger.
So it's see, that kind of sounds like a passive aggressive compliment.
I think it's just like a congrats on.
But like because for like a work thing,
right?
But now because you're making more money,
right?
You should buy me a burger.
I think it's like a congrats on the good fortune,
right?
Kind of thing. Like
right.
Like wow, all right, buy me a burger, buddy.
Yeah,
like look at you, hot stuff.
I understand that, but I also kind of hate that mentality.
Okay.
Where it's like if someone's making more money, it's like, ooh, why don't you start like why don't you
treat me a little, Jared? Come on now, making the big bucks over here.
Why exactly
whipping around in your Volt, you're not hooking a brother up.
Why are we splitting this evenly?
That's right.
That doesn't make any sense. All right. My first untranslatable is Panamanian Spanish, and it's dale cuero,
which means give me cuero.
Yes. Wow, very good.
Which is what?
Give it leather.
Give it leather. Is it to like beat something?
No.
Okay.
Give
Not
it
to beat
leather.
something.
But okay. See, now that you say that, though, I think I sort of understand
Where I was coming from?
No, I think I understand why the untranslatable is what it is.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay.
imagine. I think when they say give it leather, imagine like giving an animal leather, aka what kind of animal do you give leather?
It's a horse for a saddle.
And why else would you be giving it leather? Maybe what's a or then not even
You
just
could hit it
yeah. Well, why would you do that?
to train it
Was that why you hit horse? No, okay. Why do jockeys hit horses?
to go faster.
There you go.
Oh, hurry up!
Yeah, give
Hurry
it
up.
leather means go faster.
Oh, I like
Or do
that.
it fast.
I like it. Okay. I like. Speaking of horses, I love.
So I imagine that's what they're talking
Right.
about. Is like
yeah,
a jockey.
makes sense. Give it leather. Yeah. Which is funny because I like the untranslatable or idiom we have in English. Hold your horses to wait.
Yeah. So is that referring to like the starting line or something?
It's got to be, or travel related, probably. Like think about it. People are like about to go on.
Oh,
their,
but like hold your horses
or
because
hold your
there's gonna
horses.
be,
I gotta go grab something, or we gotta wait. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Oh, I was gonna think it's like there's gonna be a storm coming up ahead. We
Could
gotta
be.
hold our horses.
could be.
All right.
I got one. Right, it's my turn. I
yeah,
think,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. Yes.
I think that's how we usually do this. After 214 episodes, you would imagine.
All
we
right.
know
I
how to
didn't
do
realize
this.
how personally you take
Right.
that. No,
Very,
I'm kidding.
right. Very personal, Jared. All right, this one is Japanese. I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation.
I don't think you would though. I feel like Japanese is pretty phonetic.
Yeah,
Especially
It's-
when
it's
they
not
when
like
they
Chinese
translate
with the tones as much. Right.
Maybe you would mess up the tones, I guess. But as
Here
far
we
as like pronouncing
Right.
pronouncing it,
All right, here we go, Jared. Jakuniku
okay, maybe I was wrong.
kuyishoku.
I'm sorry. I apologize. For what I said.
Jakuniku yoshoku,
Okay.
which means the weak are meat, the strong eat. I
Oh,
like
I
that
like
in English.
that.
Yeah.
The weak are
The
meek.
weak are meat, the strong eat.
Oh, it's like they're leaders and leaders and followers, and don't be a follower.
Yep. Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, all right.
Survival of the fittest.
I love how they made it rhyme because
Yeah.
does it rhyme in Japanese
No.
too?
No. Yeah,
that's
you heard
just-
me say it. Obviously, it
that's
doesn't
true.
rhyme.
That's
Jakuni kukiyoshoku.
thank you.
Yeah. It doesn't rhyme at all.
Well, let's move on then because I think that's a perfect segue. I think
Okay. Let's do it.
Apologies. I think that there is something.
Some people think you're weak if you
Exactly.
apologize.
Exactly.
Do you think it's showing weakness if you apologize, Jared?
I think it can.
Okay. In what ways?
If you don't believe your own apology.
So if it's not sincere.
So-
if it's not a
so-
sincere apology is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly. Like a lot of times, and I think you see this a lot with like celebrities that do some stupid shit or something.
Right.
Where they'll like or even like some of these celebrities recently, like the Cleveland Show guy is the guy that plays Cleveland on Family Guy in the Cleveland Show is a white dude.
Right.
And he was like he stepped down from the role after playing it for 20 years, and he apologized and he's like I need to, and I'm like. And in a little bit, I'm like, you didn't really need to apologize. I was
Right.
like, just if you're gonna step down, do it. That's fine. And I think that's good.
And yeah,
But
why,
it's just
why
like,
is it
you did it
his
for
place?
20 years?
Right. And also,
It's
why?
like now you're sorry.
Right. And why is it his place as well? You know,
Yeah.
he wasn't the one that casted himself.
Sure.
You know, the higher up should
Exactly.
have had the wherewithal to
Yeah.
just cast the appropriate person
And so,
for
and
the
so,
role.
I think I've seen, and I think I've seen celebrities like say, like, I mean, even on a I think a easier to understand level than that. Like, I see it a lot with comedians. A comedian will make a joke, and then like people will get offended, and they'll like come out and apologize for the joke, and it's like, I don't think like you just did that because like your manager or your agency was like, we got to
It's for
drop you.
publicity.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like you don't really care,
Right.
or like Mel Gibson apologizing for all that racist shit he said.
Right.
It's like I think he still firmly 100% believes all that
Probably.
stuff. he
Probably.
said.
Right.
I don't think he all of a sudden loves Jews now.
So now that begs to ask the other question though, Jared. Is there even a point to apologize?
Sure. Yeah.
You know, like if you still think and believe, if I say, well, sorry for the racist things I said, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still racist and I'm still doing racist things. I don't really change anything. What's the point?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just. I think that's just to make. It's funny when you were scrolling through something. Oh, one of those shout outs on the side. Did you see the article that was there?
No, what was it?
It was. Do you still have that up, or did you close it?
Closed it.
Okay. It said. Oh
no.
Oh, there it is. Read it.
Michigan woman said right here.
Yep.
Michigan woman says fear led her to pull gun on black family.
That was the Karen that we talked about a few weeks ago in Michigan that pulled a gun on those black people and was talking.
Oh, yep.
And she was given sort of an apology and explaining herself, but she pulled the classic move.
Karen excuse.
No. The classic move is the tears.
Oh, she cried.
Yeah. But anyway, I just
felonious assault stemming from the
yeah, she got
July
arrested.
1st confrontation. Cell phone video captured the confrontation outside a Chipotle restaurant in Orion Township, about 40 miles northwest of Detroit. Jillian Wustenberg can be seen outside her vehicle shouting, "Get the bleep away, get away," while pointing a handgun. Yeah, there's no excuse for this. I'm sorry, but I think they deserve every bit of
she
this.
she felt like her life was in danger. And then after she said that, she started
Ridiculous.
crying. And I'm like, did they have a gun?
Right. Did they attack you?
I don't remember any talk of them having a gun.
Right. Yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing too, Jared. I think the point of apologizing is to.
So.
Yeah.
Let me say what I think would help this woman.
Sure.
Like you say,
Sure.
all right, when can we apologize?
Right.
Now, I think now this is 2020. Twitter is king. People are going to clown you. You're going to get clowned, regardless
for sure.
of whether it's an amazing apology or whether it's the worst apology ever. But I think that it's not just about saying sorry, but you have to say tangible things. So maybe it'd be like I would say say sorry, but then say I'm getting therapy, trying to understand my anger, trying to understand I'm reading books, trying to understand where that sort of fear came from.
Right.
And it's like if you actually make it clear that you're actually trying to adjust something in your life, because I feel like a lot of these apologies are just like, all right, I said it, now I'm just going to go on.
Right. Well,
living my exact same life.
That's the thing. That's a very half-assed apology. If you just say, I said it. Done.
Yeah. Sorry, that was very offensive. That's or what really makes me mad is when in the apology people say whether it's like I don't have a racist bone in my body or like I don't know what came over me or it's just like a moment of weakness.
Right.
And it's like how is racism a moment of weakness or like for example like calling someone the N-word or something or like
right.
Or like what that Amy Cooper woman did where she called the cops saying I'm going to say a black person is oh geez this wasp is scaring the shit out of me.
That's a big wasp. Sorry, it'll go away. If not, I'll chocolate. I got my slippers on. I'll smack it.
So yeah. I just find I hate because when I hear someone say like I don't have a racist bone in my body or that's not or I just had a moment of weakness, I feel like that just is a clean sign to me that this person has no awareness of themselves.
Right.
Because it's like this
right.
is not like so you've never I don't know even forget these racist or whatever to even say you're in a relationship and you yell at your significant other or something where it's like that's not like that didn't come from nowhere,
Right.
That's not just like it's like you didn't. And I hate that. It's also it's like I just turned white. Everything turned white. I don't know what came over me. That's not me. Or it's like that just shows me that you have no awareness of yourself.
Right.
And whether that's some racist shit or just some personal relationship stuff that happens, if that's your response to it. Or like that's not me at all. I would never do that.
Right. Well, the fact
it's like
that
you did. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's just smarter to.
Oh no.
Yeah, I see it. We'll be fine. I think it's smarter to just admit to. Well, let's start talking about I guess how to apologize, Jared, because we've talked about a lot of these people who, are giving half-assed apologies. In my opinion, look, if you really don't believe in what you're apologizing for. don't waste your time. Don't waste other people's time.
Yeah.
You know, if you're still going to continue to do racist things or hateful things or mean things, you know, why bother? You know,
Yeah.
why bother? But I think if you do want to genuinely, sincerely give an apology, you can do it. But I think the first thing you need to do is you are not allowed, especially if you are apologizing for hurting someone.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to tell that person how they should feel or can feel or do feel.
Yes, that's very true. And you and you can also. It's interesting. I thought you were going to say something else. I thought
Trying to keep you on your toes here, Jared.
But yeah, that's very true. You can't. Yeah, you can't. Like so. And I always hate where that like. Especially with I see this a lot in racial situations where it's sort of like the victim's job to like be the bigger person kind of thing, where it's like, now like, do you accept their apology?
Right.
And it's like, if you don't, you're kind of an asshole.
Right. But I don't think it's right to put those people in that position.
Even in court
Yeah.
cases,
Yeah.
I've seen that before, where
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
not fair.
where it's like why do I have to accept this person's apology for something
you don't
like
owe them anything.
racist to the level of
Right.
it being criminal that they've done to me, and now
Right.
I have to be like, all right, but now I understand that they were wrong. It's like, why do I have to? And it happened, with that Amy Cooper thing. So she got charged some sort of crimes for essentially filing a false police report or attempting to, and the guy, I can't think of what his name is, but he also has the same last name, Cooper. He was saying that
That's so crazy. I didn't know that.
he was saying that he's not going to show up to the court case because he thinks it's it's going too far to take it to a
Right.
that
It
level.
doesn't have to escalate that far.
And I
Right.
get what he's saying, and I mean, honestly, I probably wouldn't do it either, because it's like, I don't give a shit this much. I don't even feel like going to. I don't want to go to a court for this. I'd take half of my day for some
Right.
BS.
Right.
But then there were people on.
He was just in the park minding his
Right.
own business. Now,
Right.
now it comes.
I was like, now I got to go to court.
Right.
But there were people on the internet where it's like, it's always like up to the black people to like be the bigger person. It's not that it was up to us. He chose that himself. But it's
Right.
like we're always like I'm disagreeing with you. I hate that it always seems like it kind of does come to that where it's like, well, accept their apology. They're trying to be better. They're trying to change themselves. It's like, first of all, how do we know that they're trying to change themselves? It's been a month.
Right.
It's like, what have you done?
Exactly. And the other problem too, by doing that is you are putting the victim or the person who maybe didn't even want to be involved in this in the first place. You're putting them in an uncomfortable position. I really don't like that. I think personally, the person who is apologizing needs to be the bigger person.
Sure.
I mean the apology is just one of many small steps, I think, especially if we're talking about relationships or even friendships, those type of relationships. If you do something wrong with your friends, and you apologize.
Another thing that bothers me about apologies, and that's kind of what this gun Karen did, is where it's like it's an apology, but you kind of but you explain yourself by saying, well, but those people, trying to explain why you did it instead of just admitting fault in what I did was wrong and I shouldn't have done it, and I need to think twice about my relationship with my gun and how I treat other people and what I consider a threat in my life. It's like, but she didn't say that. She said actually that was a pretty good apology. What I just said.
That was a great one. Yeah, that was a great one.
But she was like, I felt like I was in fear, and essentially saying like I felt threatened by these people. These people were
Right.
attacking me, and I felt like this was my own. It's like, why you're essentially saying these people made me do this. If these people hadn't acted in this way, I wouldn't have to have done what I did. Maybe what I
Right.
did was wrong, but it's because these people made me do this.
I think anytime you try to justify your actions or make excuses for them, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, I think it's once again, you're wasting your time. Because by you trying to do this, once again, you're also deflecting. I think the whole point of apologizing is for us to take responsibility of ourselves and our actions.
Yeah.
And by me saying, oh, well, they did this, so I felt threatened, so that's why I pulled out my gun on them.
Yeah.
that's not an apology.
You're just trying to justify bad behavior.
Right. And get more people on your side and not
Right.
just say what I did was wrong and I'm sorry.
And then when you're a woman, especially a white woman, and you do the white tears thing, then people start to feel sorry for you.
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, we can see how emotionally affected she was. Maybe she really was very threatened because look, it's causing her to cry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I mean, it's like this. It's I don't know. It's so annoying.
Can I say something? And this may sound incredibly rude, Jared, but
Please, to me.
no,
Oh.
just in general.
No.
I think we care too much about other people's emotions. I don't think it's a bad
I
thing
agree with you
to care
100%.
about someone's well-being. I
Yeah.
think that's a good thing. And I think it's good to be kind and it's good to be nice. But we care so much sometimes about other people's emotions that, yeah, you'll see someone crying on television and you think, oh, that poor person.
Yeah.
But maybe they're, crying because of something that, is completely irrational or ridiculous, or they really don't even have the place.
And it really does feel like a tool sometimes, like
Yeah.
especially in these
Sure.
like videos that you see online, where it seems like a tool, and it's like they'll know that I'm very remorseful and that I'm scared if I cry,
Right. Well, and it's all trying to play into the response they want to get. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think you gave a really good example of an apology.
Yeah, I
Without a
surprised
doubt.
myself with that one.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
Let me say one thing. Apologizing is not respected in the United States of America.
Right.
And it's interesting because we also
Why do you think that is?
I think it's a sign of weakness. I feel like, especially in a leader.
You mean we view it culturally as a sign of weakness?
Yes. Yes.
Not that
I see what you're
itself.
saying.
Yeah.
And especially in a leader, you expect your leaders to sort of have it all figured out, and
But they don't.
you never, and it's never respected. And maybe I wouldn't either. I'm not saying I'm above this. But it's never respected for your leader to make a mistake and tell people that they made a mistake. It's like even if they're doing the right thing by like I feel like they'll still lose respect from a large portion of the American society.
Which I think is not a good thing. I think that's a really, I think it's kind of a toxic thing. I think there's a difference between showing vulnerability and weakness, which I think also weakness and vulnerability are two different things.
Yeah.
But I think there's a difference in showing that versus saying that you made a mistake or you were wrong.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you're right that we see that a lot, especially with our current political administration,
Yeah.
our current situation. But I think the whole thing is when I view apologizing, it's also empathy, it's compassion. And I think a lot of Americans, we view empathy and compassion as a weakness because, unfortunately, I think many people who are compassionate, who do show empathy for others, do get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to know when is it too much? When am I being kind and nice and helpful, or when are they taking advantage of me? And I think a lot of people, and this is also kind of a victim thing too, where I think some victims over apologize, which is why we also view apologies as a weakness kind of thing, where you view the weak person, oh, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't do this, always apologizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the apology is almost like but I do think that sort of over apologizing is sort of I don't want to say sign of weakness because I don't really know what that means, but it is a trait of someone that struggles to assert themselves.
Right. Yes, and I think it's a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
And some type of insecurity. Either they don't feel adequate enough or something like this. Yeah. So I would agree with that.
But I think we, especially in American and probably Canadian culture too, we've gotten to a place where saying sorry and apologizing are kind of two different things.
True. That's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Because sorry is used as like an excuse me if you bump into someone,
Right.
where you're not
Sorry.
You're not apologizing to the sense where it's
Right.
like, listen, I thought about what I've done, and I
Right.
really need to be way more aware of my surroundings. I shouldn't have bumped
Right.
you.
And
Are you okay?
And I think you're right that saying sorry and an apology are not the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I think when people if you really do need to give someone a genuine apology, you just say sorry.
Right.
Like,
That sorry is just like a you bump someone in a grocery
Right.
store. And
Right.
It's essentially excuse me.
excuse me, pardon me, if you want
Yeah.
to get even more fancy. I
Pardon.
like the way pardon me sounds.
I never use pardon.
Yeah,
but I don't have a problem with it.
I heard a lot of people
I
in
beg your
Vienna
pardon?
say it too when you would bump. Sometimes people
Pardon?
wouldn't say anything. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. But anyways,
It's a British thing, probably. That's maybe that.
and
that's why.
French, pardon,
Oh, right.
Pardon?
Sure.
has a nice sound to it. You know,
Yeah.
pardon.
I guess when you say it like a French person,
Yeah.
it even
Full
kind of sounds
softer.
nice as a British person. Pardon me.
Yeah,
I
right.
beg your pardon.
Right. Exactly. See, there you go. But yeah, saying sorry and apologizing definitely are not the same
Yes.
thing. And I think at the same time too, an apology. A lot of people view an apology as the end step. I think it's the beginning step.
Yeah.
You know, it's because I think a lot of it, like you mentioned too, Jared, is self-awareness.
Yes.
You know?
Because I used to not apologize a lot as a kid. Now I've kind of gotten more into the, just saying sorry for no reason thing. But I do think that's different than an apology, as I said. But I used to not really say sorry that much because I'm like, sorry means, if I'm saying sorry, it means I'm taking like an active effort to correct my action and never do that again. And so like, if I'm bumping someone in a grocery store, I'm not taking some sort of action here or if I like say something that hurts someone's feelings, it's like I think I meant it, It's like I'm not going to apologize just because it made you sad.
Right.
But then I think there's also a line there where it's like, yeah, but you can also, but maybe there's a more tactful way to approach things,
Sure.
Not that
I
I'm just
think
making people
there-
cry all the time.
There always is, but yeah, there definitely is. Yeah, I think the other thing is with apologies is you have to let the person forgive you or not, and I think you shouldn't be giving an apology
Expecting.
to have
Yeah.
exactly. That defeats the point of having an apology.
Right.
If I apologize to you because I
trying
want
to make you feel better.
Right, exactly. The apology is not for you, it's for me.
Yeah.
And the apology should be for the other person. But I think at the same time, I think the apology is kind of for you in the fact that you are showing you need to do something better.
Yeah, it's showing.
But it's
a
not for
level-
gratification.
It's showing a
Right.
level of introspection.
Sure.
And that you're trying to work on yourself. But you shouldn't. Yeah, but it's not you trying to. It's not you making yourself feel better.
Right.
And like, okay, fine, this person's no longer mad at me. Phew. It's
Right.
like now we can go back to normal, whatever
and,
that
and
means.
you know what? People get mad at people, and sometimes it's not even your fault, or you didn't do much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Sure.
so I don't think, and I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I know earlier this episode I mentioned that, we can't tell people how to feel, or we are not allowed to tell the people we hurt how to feel. However, if you didn't do anything wrong, and someone perceives something you did as, oh, they had very malicious intent or blah blah blah, and they get mad at you, I think at that point, the way I would approach a situation like that would be saying something along the lines of, I'm really sorry that you felt this way.
Yeah.
And tell me what I can do in the future so, we can avoid having you feel this way. But if I didn't do anything wrong, I'm not going to apologize for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make you feel this way. If I said something rude, or that's a different story.
Right.
But, but if I think sometimes people need to be heard, need to be listened to, but that doesn't mean that it's your fault and you have to apologize for you.
Well,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. I've been in situations like that. Some people might consider me kind of sarcastic or like passive aggressive a little bit, and I've definitely been in situations in like my relationship where I've said something and in my head like I mean nothing, like I don't mean any offense by it, and it's
Sure.
not even like that didn't even cross my radar, and but my partner will tell me like I didn't like the way you said that to me, and it's like and it's like I understand that maybe you don't mean anything by it or whatever, but the way you said that was not great, and I'll be like all right, I didn't even, and it's not even like apologizing because like for like the opinion that I had, but it's
Right.
more like all right, let me think twice about how I present the same data to
Right.
you essentially.
Right. And then you could say, I'm sorry that it made you feel that way.
Yeah,
I think that's okay, but yeah.
Yeah, like there's a better way. Yeah, I'm sorry for not really thinking through how I said that. You know,
Right.
like I could have said that in a much more tactful way. Even,
Exactly.
Yeah, even if I didn't.
Exactly.
Even if I stand by what I said, it's like, yeah, I said that kind of coarsely.
Right. But a lot of times, too, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And
Yeah.
that's the same with apologies.
Yeah.
You know, if I could have this elaborate, long-winded apology for you, Jared. You know, maybe I said some racist. I really hope I never do, but maybe I said some racist shit on our podcast, right? And I genuinely hurt you. I never want to hurt you. You are one of my best friends.
Thank you. Likewise.
But we'll just use this crazy hypothetical situation because I don't care about putting myself on a limb here, and I'm telling the story. So you know, say I do something racist that offends you, hurts you in some way, right? And then I give you this long-winded apology, you know, and maybe even a goddamn Instagram post. Who knows? Go on Twitter, you know, all this stuff, right? But I write all this stuff, but you can just tell it's not sincere. It's not. I didn't really learn from what I said. You know, maybe I was just joking. It was a joke, Jared. You know, but you know, and so, but then, you know, maybe if we go the flip side and say maybe I don't say this long-winded apology, but I look you in the eye and I tell you, look, man, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to, you know, do this. It was a terrible thing that I did. I'm really sorry, and I'm not going to do it again. Right? That to me, I think, is better than this long-winded apology that you know. I think
interesting that you say that because when you see a lot of these celebrity apologies, sometimes I do wonder. It's like, who are you apologizing to?
Right.
Like us, or like what about all the victims that are like that actually led to your apology? It's like, why are you apologizing to the public? But it's like if you were really secure enough in the idea that you needed to apologize and step up for what you said, I feel like you wouldn't need to. Now, maybe sometimes I understand the benefit if you have like this huge public image and you're like, I'm sorry that, you know, I let down my fans or whatever.
Right.
But it's like the apology circuit should be focused on the people that you did the wrongdoing to, not necessarily the public that saw the wrong thing that you did. You know, it's like it's like you can apologize to the public, but then what I want to know is, all right, how does that person feel about you?
Right. Well,
how do they feel about the situation after?
And apologizing to the public isn't. I wouldn't say that's the same as apologizing to the person.
Right.
It's nowhere
You're
close.
almost apologizing for different things. If
You're
apologizing for letting people, like, I'm a public figure and you guys had this image of me and I let you down, but you're not actually apologizing for what it is you let the people down for doing.
Exactly. I will say this, though, Jared. I think if a public figure does genuinely mean what they apologize and they use their platform for good in the future and show that they are really, not even show is the wrong verb here. If they really do what they say they are going to do to better the situation, then I think it's okay to go public with things.
Sure.
But a lot of times I would agree with you.
Yeah, because that could be a step of it where, like, if you're showing this is what I'm doing to improve, because then maybe it's like, and maybe I can help some of you that haven't recognized, you know, this within you, work on yourself.
Right. Because no one's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, no one's perfect. We all have to work on ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, better ourselves. And that's the whole point, I think, of apologies as well, is that the goal is to, you're doing this for a change. You don't apologize because you want things to be stagnant. You apologize because clearly you misstepped either your boundaries or you did something incorrectly.
Right.
You are correcting this and hopefully will become better at the end of the day.
What I've noticed is that I've really started noting since the beginning of this whole quarantine thing, whether it be something related to COVID, whether it be something related to George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter protest, this is the age of the screenshotted text apology, whether it be from a celebrity,
definitely.
whether it be from some sort of corporation, whether it be from like a sports team. I've never seen so many screenshotted notes.
Well, it's because it's so easy to screenshot, Jared. Remember back in the day, screenshot didn't exist.
That's true. And
you had to show them your phone.
And it's just such a funny idea because it's like, listen, I can't contain this to 280 or whatever it is, 80 characters. It's like this
on Twitter for those that don't know.
This or on Instagram even too. It's like they'll
No, Instagram it's pretty long.
That's true, but usually they'll do the like they'll screenshot they'll like post a picture of a screenshot for the apology.
Right.
I never really read like descriptions below.
I don't either. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Give me a short, funny caption with a couple decent hashtags, and I'm going to keep on scrolling.
I don't know. I'm sticking to these things 5 seconds tops.
Right.
Let's keep it moving. I need.
That's right.
So yeah, but I have seen like the screenshot on Instagram too, where it's like, this is more important. I want you to really look at this, okay? Because they probably know people don't read this shit either. And it's just like it's like, how is this now the medium for doing it? And those seem very disingenuous. I actually went to Google and just typed in apologizes and went to news, and I want to pull them up and go through some.
Yeah,
of the
let's hear
recent-
some. Let's hear some. This will be
hold
good.
on, let me get this video first before I. All right, here we go. And this is literally just the news tab on Google. I typed in apologizes, and let's see what comes up. Associate professor Okay, here's the first one. This is
I already know it's going to be bad. I already know.
All right. Associate professor apologizes for controversial tweet deleted from account. Here we go. Omaha, Nebraska. Creighton University has released a statement. See, once again, the college apologizing on behalf of the professor.
Here we go. Yep.
Following an incident where an associate professor, come on, bruh. That's not a tenure, is it? Associate professor? That's like the beginning stage, isn't it? Anyway,
well,
let's keep going.
It depends on the institution.
Associate professor tweet received a controversial response from the community, including from police. Associate professor Zachary Smith, PhD, tweeted in response to an article about the upcoming Black and Blue rally and in support of local police set for this weekend. Caption: Creighton University. This is the apology. I want to see the tweet. No, you don't have the tweet?
Of course, they don't have the tweet.
All right, well, let me just keep reading. Let's see what they say. Associate Professor Zachary Smith, PhD, tweet in response to... Okay. Image, the title. Creighton apologizes for... okay. Well, how could they not show the tweet? Views expressed by... Okay, let's see at least what the response says. Views expressed by Creighton University faculty member on his personal social media account concerning the Black and Blue event are... back the blue.
Yeah, I was really confused
Yeah, I
at
was
first.
like black
Jared, yeah.
and blue. I was like, these black people for the police or something. Back the blue event are not those of the university. Additionally, the faculty member regrets the statement and sincerely apologizes for the offense that it caused. Creighton.
I'm sorry, but he needs to release these.
Which side is he on? This could go either way.
Right. He needs to release a statement himself.
Creighton believes statements of this nature impede our goal of promoting unity within our community, including efforts to confront and eliminate systemic racism. Okay, I assume he's some racist, he said.
Right. Oh, God.
Creighton is an institute gilded by Jesuit Catholic values. Ugh.
I bet you could probably find that tweet online, though, couldn't you?
Yeah, I definitely could. I can actually, Zachary Smith, Creighton University. I could definitely just type this in on Twitter.
Right.
So I
well, not on Twitter because he's deleted the tweet, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure there's a screenshot of it.
Right.
Zach, and people are another term that's come out recently.
Cancel culture.
Yes, that one. But I was gonna say doxing, but doxing is a part of.
What's doxing?
Doxing is when you put out someone's information. So like you see all these racists on social media, and they're like, all right, let's find this guy, and somehow within like 20 minutes they have his LinkedIn,
their address,
his
and
Facebook,
LinkedIn. Yeah, right.
and they're like showing his job and stuff.
I think we should do an episode in the future as well, though, about cancel culture.
Yes, for sure.
And that does loosely relate to apologies a little bit, in some ways.
But I think it's a little different. I think
it is for sure.
Here it is. Oh, this is the statement.
No, let's see that tweet. Let me see them tweets.
I know. We really need this tweet. We really need this.
I'm really curious what, because he had to have said some shit. If the college
is
putting
definitely
out,
racist.
Oh, obviously,
Christ.
it's got to be.
Oh my God.
I'm surprised. Did somebody on Black Twitter write about it?
Well, not this article. This is just some local BS. But yeah, they
because you did mention people will clown you on the internet.
No. For some reason I can't find it. Unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. Either way, though, that's yeah.
I can't find it. It's not. Anyway.
But once again, this is the university protecting their image.
Yes, clearly.
It's not him trying to do the right thing.
Clearly.
Right. That's so
Oh,
crazy.
I found it.
Yes.
It's in the article. I could have
Okay,
just read.
all
As
right.
my dad always used to say to me, it's hidden in the words.
I love that. That might be the quote of today's episode. It's hidden in the words.
So
I love
actually, I'm kind of on board with it now that I read it. You're right. It is definitely. So he responded saying, "Let me fix the headline for you. White supremacist rally in Omaha to showcase Midwestern racism."
it. Wait, so that was the
That's
professor's
the tweet. Yeah.
That was his tweet.
Yeah.
I'm down with that tweet.
Yeah,
That's
me
a great
too.
tweet.
Me too.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
But they're probably thinking that calling all police officers white supremacists is not helping
Right.
with the unification and race relations.
But that's the problem with so many people on the left and our liberal system, especially the education system. I would say is fairly liberal in the U.S. from my viewpoint of it, what I've seen, and I love how they fight. You can't fight tolerance with tolerance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there comes a point when we have to say something. And this
Right.
professor was saying something. Here we are, Jared, though, dragging him at first, saying he was saying something racist.
Because they're like
Usually they are. Usually it's these
It-
old-ass white guys saying dumb
that
racist
could go
shit.
anyway. That definitely
Right.
because they just said it was racially charged, but that could have
Right.
gone anyway.
Right. But see, that goes into how the media portrays things,
Right.
which stay
That article
tuned for our
was-
next
that-
episode
That
on media
article
literacy.
too was it's like yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Here's the one's a little
Okay.
more lighthearted.
Okay. All right. That was pretty funny, though. That was a plot twist. I would
Lighthearted,
say.
except for the fact that the team is the Cleveland baseball team. What
Okay.
are they called again?
Indians.
Yeah,
Cleveland Indians.
they're in
yep.
the news huge today, right
Okay.
now. Them and the what's the Washington D.C.
Redskins. Yep.
Those two teams
They're
are
in hot
huge in
water.
the news right now
Yep.
and it's like now they're only changing their. This is another great example of like, oh, you're only changing your name because now sponsors are like, yeah, we're not paying
What?
to,
Right.
to make these.
Are you
jerseys
surprised
anymore.
though? It's money. It's
Yeah.
all money.
But it's even with the companies that are taking out their sponsorship. It's like now it's
Right.
looking bad for us to have
Right.
our logo next to these racist symbols.
Right.
But that's not what
You're gonna
this is
see a
really
lot
about.
more sponsors in NASCAR, my man. Just wait.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you saw that Trump car that they had? It crashed, by the way.
Nice.
Cleveland Indians outfielder Franmil Reyes apologized for attending a 4th of July celebration that led to him missing workouts out of precaution.
That's hilarious.
It's so funny to me that professional athletes have to like give public apologies.
Right.
Where it's like why do you have to apologize to your fans? That's so.
Right.
It's so. I find those apologies so dumb, and those really mean nothing to me at all.
I would
Where it's like
agree.
those are 100% the teams.
Your
Like, you
agent
gotta
or your
go,
publicist or the team.
You got to go
Yeah.
apologize, and then when they do that, those are the ones where they're like reading some sort of "I apologize for going to a
Right.
party."
It's all motto.
that was very.
Right.
That was a very bad idea. I should have thought twice about that.
Exactly.
Next time, I will not do that. And then I just get up and walk
Right.
away.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay. And it's like, hey, now you got to go find your friend that took a picture. It's like, why'd you post that shit on Instagram?
Right. Exactly.
Let's find some more.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of good ones. I mean, Karen apologies
jeez.
on their own are just probably a whole nother level of ridiculousness.
Let's skip that
If they
one.
have enough. Can I at least read the headline when you want to skip?
Sheen apologizes for selling hurtful and offensive swastika necklace, claiming it was Buddhist symbol.
Oh, geez. That one's kind of a funny one, though, because, I mean, that one's kind of funny because...
This is Fox News, though. I don't feel
When
like
I
reading
was
this
when
article.
I was in Bali, there were quite a few Hindu statues as well that had...
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's
And-
not a swastika, but it's a similar symbol.
Well, they say it's reversed, but you can't really tell.
No.
At least in my slow head, I
Right.
can't just look at it and be like, oh, that's reversed.
Right. The only way I can tell is if it's on a Buddhist or Hindu shrine. Then you know.
But
you know.
also, don't the Buddhist ones usually have like those dots in between it as well?
I think some might, yeah.
That's usually my reference for it.
right. That's too
Um,
funny.
Tech CEO apologizes for racist tirade against Asian American family caught on video.
no.
Do you want to hear it?
No,
Okay.
no, I
Oh,
don't.
I know this one.
What?
I saw this one. Did you see this?
I did see that. Yeah, that
So
was
this guy's
terrible.
British, first of all.
Terrible. Yeah.
So this guy, and this is a perfect example of this guy was one of the ones I was thinking of when I just told you they find that guy's information in minutes,
Right.
and then it's
Doxed him.
It's like, how do you find docs? It's
Oh,
like, how do
doxed
you
him, sorry.
find this guy's information so fast? He's just a
Right.
random idiot sitting at a restaurant.
Right.
So this guy, he was at a restaurant and he was sitting there. I imagine his other people might have left her. Like, clearly there are other people at the table, but he's sitting there by himself. It's clearly the end of the meal. And he's just staring at these people. And apparently he had said something before the camera went on. And they're like, say it again. Come on. Now that the camera's on, you don't want to. And he was just saying that, like, he's like, Trump's going to kick you out of this country. He's like, I don't know. He's just other racist stuff about Asians. And then, and he was British. It's like, bro, you're not even American. It's hilarious,
Right.
it's hilarious how confident you are in your American
I always
racism.
find it funny how many British people, like
I
when
mean, I
they
know they're
support
racist
Trump.
too.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny how confident they are. Like, it's like, that's...
Right, Trump's going to do
But
this
that,
and
but that
that.
shows
Yeah.
that that really shows to. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he could be an American like citizen or whatever. But like
Just
the fact
likes
that
to
this British
talk like
guy is
he's
like
British
this,
when he's racist.
the fact that he's British like that kind of shows that like I feel like this is like it makes it. It's like this is not about being American or anything.
No,
like,
this is not
and-
an
in the relationship.
America-only problem.
In the relation to Trump, it's not a political thing. It is it feels like even more of a whiteness thing to me.
Yeah.
When you see it's like I don't know. It's like it's just so hearing a British guy like be like, yeah, Trump.
Right.
Anyway, he apparently apologized for his racist tirade. Let's see for
Let's rate his apology,
All right.
Jared. Do you have it?
Yeah, probably. For a few moments after the camera began recording, the white man... Oh, I already said that. Trump's going to F you, he said. After the video went viral on Thursday, multiple journalists identified the man as Michael... should I say his...
Nope, don't say
Okay.
his name.
He is a CEO of a tech company that he started.
That's all we need to know.
And he by the day's end, this guy had deleted all of his social media accounts and issued an apology for local television. My behavior in the video is appalling. He told San Francisco. He told San Francisco KGO TV in his TV statement. This was clearly a moment. Didn't I say this earlier? I already see where this is. Where this
Yep, let's
effing
hear it.
bullshit
Come on.
is going.
Just read it all.
All right,
and we
all
can
right,
talk
all right.
about it when you're done reading it. Just read
My
it all.
behavior in this video is appalling. This was clearly a moment where I lost control and made
Oh, yep.
incredibly
Here we go.
hurtful and
Yep.
divisive comments. But members of the family he targeted say his slurs speak louder than his mea culpa. Is that the whole thing? He's just saving face. I think
Yep.
he really
I mean,
meant
he is,
what he
yeah.
said and what he did, Raymond Orasso, who was celebrating a relative's birthday at the restaurant, told the television station. I don't believe his words because his actions speak louder than the words he's saying. The incident in the last video of a rising tide of racist abuse against Asian Americans. Okay, so let's just talk about how that's happening a lot these days, which it is. But yeah. So that's his whole apology. Now, then they were just interviewing. That's it. So his whole apology was exactly what I said. These apologies are.
Right.
That's no. Essentially, that's no. This was clearly a moment where I lost control, and it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, you obviously lost
You
control.
said almost that verbatim earlier this
So
episode.
yeah, you lost control. Maybe you wouldn't say that normally, but clearly you think it.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah, you wouldn't say
I lost
that if you
control
didn't think
because
it.
I said it.
Right.
I didn't. Like,
And you videotaped me, or you know,
yeah,
and there's
yeah.
a video of me.
because
yeah.
you caught me saying it. It's why,
Right.
why? But it's like
Because imagine had they
the
have
thought is still there.
right, and imagine had they have not had him on camera, this would have just been word of mouth,
Yeah,
and nothing would happen probably.
and
you
and I
know?
think this. I think this helps. I think this is helpful in a weird way because it's like now people are seeing this on a normal basis. And it's like imagine how many of these things aren't being recorded.
right,
This
exactly,
This is
exactly.
happening more than is being recorded. Not everyone has the wherewithal to pull out their camera right away and take a video that clearly shows racism.
Right, exactly.
So
That's
terrible.
Out of 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, I give that a cold 0 on that
Terrible.
one, Jared.
Yep.
Yep. Pointless apology, waste of everybody's time. And I would agree with what the family said. You know, I don't believe him either.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it comes from a sincere place. And so it's,
Yeah, and saying lose control is such a weak excuse because it's like you lost control, meaning you said it.
right,
It's like
right.
it's like not that you felt it. Did you
Right.
hear about Deshaun Jackson? He's a famous football player, and I didn't see too much about it, but let me read what he said. Eagles wide receiver Deshaun Jackson has apologized for an Instagram post that attributed a quote to Adolf Hitler saying, "The Jews will blackmail America." I just want to, first off, extend an apology, Jackson said in an Instagram video. I never want to put any race down. You started.
I love it when you just start laughing halfway through these apologies.
They just make no sense. All right, I need to say them all the way through so we can critique them properly.
You would not be able to be on like a comedy show, I don't think, because I don't think I would be able to either.
No, I wouldn't be able to work for a news station.
Right. Oh,
if I were the
that's
one
true.
interviewing this person, I would be like, really, bro, that's your apology?
Right? Maybe that's
I'll
why
give you
you
another
should be on a
chance.
news station.
Let's
Jared,
cut
yeah.
this and start over.
Let's try it again, yeah.
I've done this job for a while, and I know that is terrible.
Right. Take two.
I just want to
Right.
first off extend an apology, Jackson said in an Instagram video. I never want to put any race down or any people down. My post was definitely not intended for anybody of any race to feel any type of way, especially the Jewish community. When I posted what I posted, I definitely didn't mean it to the extent that you guys took it. Jackson said that Hitler was a bad person, and I know that. And people that know me know that I have no hatred in my heart. That's another popular one.
Oh, yep. I have no hatred in my heart.
Absent from Jackson's apology is any statement that he plans to educate himself or speak with leaders in Philadelphia's Jewish community. This will probably... Okay, so yeah, that's just the end of it. But yeah, it's the exact same thing that the other guys was.
Right.
Where it's like, what do you mean you have no hate in your heart? You just quoted a Hitler talking about how Jews will blackmail America. What does that even mean?
Right. Why? Yeah, where? That just comes out of left field so much. I don't even know where.
Let's see if I can... I probably will
where
be able
they're
to find
coming
this
from.
one pretty
Right.
easily.
Okay.
Because let's see if I can... all right, here.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to find it.
He's actually a like a celebrity.
Right. Oh, man.
Here's his apology, but I don't need to hear the apology. Oh, he it looks like he like quoted a book that he's reading. I don't know what the book is.
Let me read it.
Well, I was going to read it.
Oh, okay.
By the way, I'm quoting what he posted on his Instagram.
Yeah, this is not Jared's thoughts or the Untranslatable podcast thoughts. This is from whose Instagram again? What's this guy's
Deshaun
name?
Jackson.
Thank you.
He's a football player. Because the white Jews knows that the Negroes are the real children of Israel, and to keep America secret, the Jews will blackmail America. The will extort. This is what it says. The will extort America. Their plan for world domination won't work if the Negroes know who they are. The white citizens of America will be terrified to know that all of this time they've been mistreating and discriminating and lynching the children of Israel. All right, bro. And then
What the hell is he reading? What is he reading?
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, what? Oh, man.
And so, actually, when I wrote that, when I told you about how this is the age of
Screenshots?
Philadelphia Eagles was one of them.
Oh, they screenshotted it?
No. They put out a screenshot apology on their Twitter.
Right.
Because of the because he plays for the Eagles. Because of the stupidity of this guy, they put out an sorry, I'm trying to type and hold my microphone at the same time, and as you guys can hear, it doesn't go very well. So they had to put out an apology for his stupidity because he's a representative of the team. So they it's probably still at the top. Yeah, so they put I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll read some of it. But they had to put out this long-ass screenshot of, text
The
apology.
Philadelphia Eagles do not tolerate hate toward any individual or group. We believe in respecting equality for all races, ethnicities, and faiths. We as an organization want to help be an instrument for positive change. This can only occur through strong, deliberate, and your screen went black.
Oh.
But we
so
get
far
the gist.
generic
Yeah.
as fuck.
Yeah.
Today we have penalized Deshaun for conduct detrimental to the team. He accepted these consequences and apologized. In many conversations with him, it's probably like one of those like $10,000 fines that they give or
Right,
something.
exactly. That's like a slap on the
it's
wrist.
like, all right, we're gonna pay you millions of dollars, and we're gonna take $10,000 out of that.
Exactly. A
So,
drop
that-
in the bucket.
Another terrible apology. I mean, I guess obviously I understand that Philadelphia. I'm not saying Philadelphia's was a terrible apology. They're kind of in a weird spot.
Philadelphia Eagles, right.
But I think I will actually say they have a bad apology because I think to prove that their commitment to not letting that stuff happen, I think they should have said what the punishment was.
Right.
Because a punishment doesn't really mean much if it's just like some pathetic slap on the wrist or something. It's like sometimes they punish police officers and say they're like on paid leave now until we do
Right.
further investigation.
Yeah, that's such
It's like
bullshit.
vacation.
Right. Right.
That sounds
Yeah.
great.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, how much stupid shit do I have to say to get paid vacation? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And
Those are my apologies
yeah, it's
for you.
counterintuitive. That's great. I love those. I think to circle back, Jared, and piggybacking on what you say, two phrases that Jared absolutely loves. No, but in all seriousness, I think we covered a lot of good stuff regarding apologies. To kind of recap, to wrap up our main segment today, I think they have to come from a sincere and genuine place.
Mm-hmm.
Saying sorry or sorry, as our Canadian brothers and sisters would say, is not equivalent of an apology.
Yes.
So be aware of that. And also how you say is sometimes more important than what you say.
Don't worry, it's just a fly. There's
Yep.
no wasps.
Yeah,
on
how you say is more important than what you say.
Mhm.
And to really cap off today's episode before we get to the song of the pod today, Jared, I want to take the wisdom from your father. And what did he say again?
What? It's hidden in the words.
It's hidden in the words. Same with an apology, though, Jared. In
Yeah.
a way, it's hidden in the words. You
Yeah.
know? Are you apologizing for you? Are you apologizing for that person and doing the right thing? Are you apologizing for your name, your brand, your image? And it will be hidden in the word. Well, I think the truth will come through the words.
By the way, circling back, I love how that you chose to quote my dad. He's also the one that used to say "irregardless." So
there we go. There we go. Well, let's move on to our song of the pod today, Jared. I'm going to put it on as
Yeah.
background music because it's a great song.
and I don't remember what it's called either.
It is called A Primera Vista.
Oh yes, okay.
A Primera Vista by Pedro Aznar, who actually I'm not sure where he's from now that I look, but we're going to give this a listen for you guys. Put it in the background here. Beautiful acoustic guitar arrangement with some strings throughout. Talk about it, Jared. Tell us about
Vista is a site, by the way. So Premiere Vista is a beautiful site, I would imagine. Can you, turn that down a little bit. I can't even hear myself think. So the reason I thought to choose not this song specifically, but this genre, is because when I think of like apologizing, my thought was like, I feel like no genre does apologizing or like sort of begging music better than Latin music. I feel like the Spanish or even Portuguese or sometimes Italian, those accents and that style of a lot of those styles of music for some reason seem so fitting to. Why are you trying to turn into some sort of DJ all of a sudden?
it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
It just seems very fitting as and this is not really an apology song. I don't think I'm not a Spanish
No, but it
speaker.
definitely has a romantic, lovey
Yes.
vibe to it. It's a slower tempo.
Mm-hmm.
The strings, I think, give it some romance to
Yes.
it as well.
Yes.
And
And I think there is a romantic aspect, which we never really touched on because that's not really what I was interested in. But there is a romantic aspect to apologizing too, especially in relationships, like in
Okay.
movies.
true.
That's sort of
You're
like
right.
in the rain, standing
right.
outside your window. It's like, I
Right.
fucked up. I'm sorry.
Right, with the boombox above your head at night.
Yeah.
Take me back,
Throwing
please.
like a rock at
Right, some pebbles at the window.
Yeah, not a rock,
Exactly. Yeah, crash through the window.
Well, no, I'm sorry for that.
Right. You better make sure you got lots of apologies if you're doing that. But yeah, it's a great song. A Primera Vista by Pedro Aznar. Yeah, definitely. Maybe not an apology song per se, but definitely has some slow romantic vibes
betcha.
to it.
And he almost
so check
definitely
it out.
probably does have an apology song in his repertoire. Let's be honest.
Probably. That's true. Well, Jared, I think this has been a fun episode today. I think I've learned a little bit more about apologies as well.
Yeah.
I appreciate the nuggets of wisdom from you and your father. Irregardless,
I'm
if
cutting
your father says irregardless or not. But yeah. So let us know, though, how you appreciate apologies and what you tend to do to apologize. We'd really appreciate it. And if you have any tips on how to apologize in different cultures, because it is definitely different the way people, I think, are expected to apologize. Who makes the first move, who doesn't. Frankly, in my opinion, if you are the one who needs to apologize, you need to make the first move. I don't really care about your culture, but that's just me.
I'm with you.
That's just me. So anyways, let us know at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. You can slide into our DMs on Twitter at untranslatable1, the number 1, or on Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. And if you want to hear our great song of the pod today, a Primera Vista, I always forget the guy's name when I say this. I don't know why I do this, Jared. But check it out on our Song of the Pod playlist on YouTube, Untranslatable Podcast. We would really appreciate it. Subscribe on YouTube. And please, 5-star reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. Let us know how we can make this podcast better for you. We'd really appreciate it. So, as we say here at the Untranslatable Podcast, Jared, dziękujemy, muchas gracias, shisha, and do svidania.
My camera ran out of battery. Luckily, like 3 minutes before the end.
Oh, nice. That's
So,
not too bad.
yeah.
Pop in that logo, that fly logo of our
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
cartoonish faces.
Yeah,
We're good to go.
exactly.
We're good to go. Yeah, dude, that was fun.
Yeah.
Got no apologies after doing that.
Yeah,
Oh,
nothing
dude,
to
we dropped the
apologize
ball. We dropped the ball. We should have done the song "All Apologies" by Nirvana.
Oh, I don't know that song.
Well,
We should definitely listen.
we're
I got to
gonna
listen
listen
first,
to it now.
though.
All right, sounds good. Well, that was fun. All right, Untranslatable Podcast.